Begin. We'll call the Tuesday, March 14th meeting to order. All rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. Ready? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Changes to the agenda?
No, Chairman.
Public comments. Under Government Code 54954.3, members of the audience may address the commission on any item of interest to the public or on any agenda item before or during the commission's consideration of the item. State law prohibits the Planning Commission from acting on non-agenda items. Seeing none, we'll move right along to our information and consent calendar. We have two items. One, the approval of the minutes from the January 10th, 2023 meeting, and second, the Planning Commission recommendation to the City Council for approval of the 2022 General Plan Progress Report. There's no need for any discussion. The chair will entertain a motion.
Move to approve.
Commissioner Stompenbrink made the motion to approve. Does the motion have a second?
I second.
Commissioner Helmer made the second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries 5-0. Moving right along, there's one item under public hearings. Planning Commission consideration of a zoning text amendment and further adopting resolution number 023P-002, recommending to the City Council approval of an ordinance updating the temporary uses section of the Planning and Zoning Code in order to permit fairs, carnivals, and festivals in residentially zoned districts on parcels no smaller than 20 acres.
Thank you, Commissioners. Chairman, tonight was a public hearing, public hearing for a zoning text amendment based on the council's request to initiate a text amendment to amend the temporary use regulations for to accommodate the request from the chamber to move the Horn-Toad Derby to the property on Sacramento Street. The property is zoned residential. The council gave staff direction to proceed with the proper modifications to be able to accommodate that request, to be able to allow that particular use of the property. Based on some updated information I've received, staff is recommending that the commission basically continue the hearing tonight and bring it forward to the council, as there doesn't seems like the Derby may not be occurring at the location on Sacramento Street. It may not occur on the Sacramento Street property. So, and so what I wanted to do is bring it to the council. It's supposed to be a council on Thursday, because we did a kind of a joint noticed hearing. So the commission could definitely, if you want to recommend approval, if it's something that you guys are wanting to do, you can definitely do that. And then we can go to council. Council can decide whether they want to proceed with approval or whether they feel it's necessary to amend the code. It sounds like it's going to end up back at Olson Park.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Can you enlighten people as to what's going on, why?
I don't know all the details. I've just been in contact with them, letting me know that there wasn't going forward over there, which means that it's going to. So the purpose of, and the reason why I'm bringing that up is because it affects the decision and the purpose of the purpose of this this action.
But the commission and or the council as well could still change it regardless of what the chamber ends up doing one or the other.
Yes, although it was kind of jointly initiated by the council for that purpose. And so it's definitely up to the commission. I mean, if you'd like to proceed forward and say, hey, we still recommend approval or not, but council, you guys decide what you want to do, and then then it doesn't have to come back if that's the case. But I at least wanted to advise what I've been told, that the purpose of it was for that, to be able to have the Derby there, and it sounds like it's not going to occur on that property.
Well, the paper had a good explanation as to why they wanted to do it and the benefits with respect to safety and the size of it. You can't expand the current facility where it's at down there at Olson Park. It made a lot of sense to do it, so, I mean, I don't know why we didn't go forward. That's just my thoughts on it.
And that's perfectly fine if you like, Commissioner Stoppenberg.
That's just me, I don't know what, other-
And I don't want to act on behalf of the council, but it's just a matter of making sure that because that was the intent of the text amendment, to ensure that we're going through that process.
I noticed that it's on parcels no smaller than 20 acres, and that size was selected specifically because of the Horned Toad Derby.
Or
right?
at least parcels larger than just like a vacant residential lot, essentially. And the 20 acres at least gives them, I mean, the parcel that they were proposing is a little bit larger than that, but it at least, 20 acres is enough space to have some buffers too.
Olson Park's 10.5 acres.
I'm sorry, would you say that again? Olson Park, what?
I believe it's 10.5 acres. So, as far as anywhere else, we want to go larger than if that would be the case.
So that brings up an interesting point. If we do pass this, then would that,
It does not adopt it because the council still has to go through the approval process and then go through the second reading of an ordinance, so.
however, if the council went ahead and approved it, would that deem it so it couldn't be held at Olson Park? So they would have.
No. Olson Park is,
Still
Olson Park is kind of,
grandfathered in?
they've
Okay.
just always had it, yeah, it's been there in that location.
So if we went ahead, it would give city council flexibility to do whatever they need to do without having the limitation of us not making a decision.
Yes, so there is a benefit if you do act, then basically they can approve it, or they can decide not to act on it, and then it ends. Or, because if you guys don't act on it, then, and they decide they still want to act on it, then essentially it would have to come back with a notice public hearing and go through that process, so. But I'm just doing it based on the information I've received, and so I wanted to be, fully transparent with the commission, in terms of, what's the current state is that we're being told.
Okay, so just processing it. This was developed for a specific situation which no longer exists.
That was, yes, it still will affect any residential property in
Right,
town.
but
Or 20
we
acres or
hadn't
more.
had this issue come up before, and the likelihood of it coming up again, who knows?
But this is coming, this is going through, this is basically being processed
Okay.
based on the direction of the council, based on the request from the chamber to have the Derby at this location.
This is a public hearing. The public hearing is now open. Do you have a question?
I'll be all formal. Gary Jones. I was not at the meeting, but it's my understanding that after last year's Horned Toad Derby, there was a meeting where a lot of people with a lot of stake in the situation spoke, and I believe that one of the concerns was from Chief Garza was a lack of security because there's just free ingress and egress and exgress and all that. And I know that was, and that it's very tight. The people are packed in pretty closely together. So I just know that I don't see that issue going away anytime soon. And I don't know what other options they would say, like, they'll have a maximum capacity and say, like, if there's more than 1,000 people here, you can't come in, or what, but it seems like this is an issue that's going to rebound, that they either need to fence it, 'cause I know that word, that nasty, ugly word, was used I wasn't there, I didn't take notes or anything, but I do know that that was the topic, that was one of the primary concerns. So, and that's not going to go away. One way or the other, those issues will have to be addressed. So, I'm not a fan of anything, I'm just putting it out there.
Thank you. Any other comments from anyone?
Sorry for the curveball. I've just found out a few days ago, so.
To reiterate my position, I think, it's good to move forward on it, the council leaves us in place for, in the event something occurs later on, between now and the Derby coming up, or next year, or the year after. I think it's a good placeholder to have available for that Derby. That's my thoughts on it.
We'll go ahead and close the public hearing at this time, and if there's no need for any further discussion, the chair will entertain a motion.
Chairman, I would move that we adopt these, resolution to change the zoning and move it forward to the city council for consideration.
Commissioner Stoppenbrink made the motion to approve the resolution as written.
I'll second it.
Commissioner Pruitt made the second. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Stoppenbrink,
Aye.
Commissioner Pruitt,
Aye.
Commissioner Helmar,
Aye.
Vice Chairman Jacobs,
Aye.
Chairman Saylor.
Aye.
Perfect.
Motion
My
carries.
staff report to council will be consistent. That's good. Because it's already written and posted.
Department reports.
No, Chairman. But, oh, that's right. we
Oh,
still gotta-
yes, that's right.
We have to-
Sorry, excuse me. Yes.
That's more than fine.
I, Michelle Helmar, do solemnly swear or affirm that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of California against all enemies, foreign and domestic, that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of California, that I take this obligation freely without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion, and that I will well and faithfully discharge the duties upon which I'm about to enter.
I do.
Acceptance speech, acceptance speech.
Staff announcements.
I don't have anything specific, no.
Commissioner announcements. Chairman announcements. I want to say congratulations to Commissioner Helmer. I think the council made a wise choice. And to our outgoing vice chair, the last 8 years, it was a pleasure serving with you. Always enjoyed your viewpoint on all of our issues that came before us, and you will be missed. And then also one last little bit. March is National Kidney Health Month, and as a kidney transplant recipient, that is close to my heart, so make sure you take good care of your kidneys because you don't want to end up on dialysis. And if you know of anybody that needs a donation, consider being a transplant if you are eligible. It will change someone's life. And with that, meeting adjourned.